Hey guys, this is John, and I'm playing Petite Culprit in the 5-minute pool on ICC. Let's play e4 against them. Maybe we'll get a Ruy Lopez. I like to play the Ruy Lopez. Let's take on c6. I know I played the exchange Ruy Lopez a lot, but I'm still kind of easing back into e4. I hope to play like more e4 games in the future, but just kind of easing back into it. And I'm a little unsure of myself in some of the main lines of the Ruy Lopez. Okay, so we have a position with a liquidated center. And let's just develop as normal. He's going to fianchetto his bishop. Let's put the rook behind our knight, or behind the pawn. Where's he going to put the knight? If knight f6, I might have e5. h6 looks not like the best square in the world, so I assume he wants to put the knight on f6. Maybe he'll move his queen again and try to put it on e7. So preparing castling queenside, perhaps? What about knight d5? Can I play knight d5 right now? Might be able to. Knight d5, pawn takes. Pawn takes. Huh. It's a marginal proposition, because he doesn't even have to take the knight if knight d5. Knight d5, pawn takes, bishop e5. If f4, take, my rook hangs at the end. I'm not quite sure about it. All right, let's just play bishop f4. So we're hitting c7. He can castle queenside now, though. Again, knight d5 is attractive, but it doesn't work. Okay, let's just bring this back. Maybe I can put it up to a5 somewhere if I want to attack their king. Let's go queen e2. They can play knight f6 now if they want. So we have a stereotypical structure for this Ruy Lopez exchange, with white having a cosmetically better structure. But that's not the end of the story. Like, black has two bishops. The position otherwise is pretty okay for them. Rook d1. I don't know if I'll swap everything. I might, but probably not right now, at least. Okay, what to do now? Maybe knight back to d4? Let's do that. Maybe we can take on e6. Knight takes e4 doesn't work. I take with a queen. Who is this player? Petite Culprit. Andreas Kelires. Not sure which country. By the way, you might be seeing some of these videos on a different date than I played them, because I'll be out of town for a few days. I'm going to Washington, D.C. for my brother's grad school graduation. He just obtained his master's at George Washington University. I love you, man. So I'll be out of town for a couple days, and I'm just trying to record some stuff in advance. Okay, f3. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to go knight takes e4? No, that doesn't work. He's not going to do that. Okay, so f3. I think he's just trying to like induce me to play f3. He's going to bring the bishop back. Yeah, that's what he does. Now, probably I want to move this bishop. It's not so good on its diagonal anymore. Queen c4. Could I do queen takes c4? That would be a devilish move. Let's try it. Idea of this is that if they play knight h5, I can actually take on c7. And if they take with a king, I have knight d5. It's kind of a cheap idea, but I mean, even here, bishop takes c7, king takes, knight d5, knight takes, pawn takes. What's going on there? Huh. Bishop takes c7, king takes c7, knight d5, knight takes, pawn takes. Might be all right. Yeah, let's try it. I think it works. I could also play king takes and then e5, trying to get the knight to move, but he won't move the knight is the problem. Yeah, I think I'll settle for knight d5. He might just decline the pawn. He might like move his rook, but of course we're happy with that. And I know the Ruy Lopez exchange variation has a reputation as being a little dry, but honestly, I think it's an underrated weapon. And it makes the most sense. Like on move 4, like if you were to try to explain to a beginner, now we'll do knight d5. Yeah.
Check.
If you were to try to explain to a beginner like why on move 4 after a6 it's better to play bishop a4 according to theory than bishop takes c6, they would get very confused. Because bishop takes c6 seems like the follow-up, right? Like you bring your bishop out to pressure the knight. So I like the fundamental nature of the move. Okay, here I can play d6 check maybe. Although queen takes, knight b5, they take with a pawn, they're hitting my queen. Probably just taking here would be the most natural. Yeah, taking would definitely be... Wait, I'm just down a piece, aren't I? Oh my gosh. I totally didn't realize I was just down a piece. I sacked a piece on c7. Okay, this isn't turning out the way I wanted it to. Not at all. Okay, now I gotta play for some sort of, like, I don't know, some sort of compensation. Let's go here. You know, I was worried about that when I played bishop takes c7. I guess I just, like, completely miscalculated the fact that I'm down a piece. That happens sometimes. Oh, this is a funny game already. Well, I have only a pawn to show for it. But maybe I have, like, a mild initiative. Like, here I can play check. But he just goes king b8. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. d6 check, king b8. There's not enough going on. I can take on c6. He just takes e1 then. Crushes me. Maybe check and then rook e7. Again, there's not enough going on for him to be threatened by that, though. Oh, this position's horrible. All right, I'm just going to do something. Rook e4 it is. Let's try to improve our pawn structure a bit. Yeah, I got my wires crossed with bishop takes c7. Not much more to be said. I'll be curious to see that position. Like, maybe there was something better that I missed, but... Okay, so if I take c6, he can just take with the bishop, right? No harm, no foul. Looks to be that way. Yeah, there's just not enough going here. All right, I'm going to do this just to try to have some sort of chance. Like, if they move this bishop, I can take on c6 is one redeeming feature of this move. Yeah, like, actually, he blundered into this now.
Check.
Maybe he can walk his king out, though. Yeah, he can walk his king out all the same. No, he can't. He cannot. I was thinking take, check, king here, but I have queen c7 mate. So maybe it's just a draw now.
Check.
Yeah, it might just be a draw.
Check. Check.
Can I win this?
Check.
Huh. Can maybe lift my rook and try to win.
Check.
Yeah, actually rook d3.
Time
What's
warning.
he going to do about that? He has queen takes b2. Well, let's try it. Queen takes b2, I take on d8. I might be pushing my luck with this. I can't resist, though. Okay.
Check. Check.
Yeah, I think I'm winning now. Checkmate next move. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I won. Oh, wait, no.
Check.
I'm not winning. No! Oh my gosh.
Check.
Wait, oh no. All right. I resigned. I resigned. Oh my gosh, what a ridiculous game. I completely lost my bearings after I realized that I was just down a piece. That was pretty funny. Queen b4, really? He escapes the mate temporarily. Okay, let's have a look. Well, at least that was a fun game. I'm not sure what else to say about it, but you know, like I said, bishop takes c6 I think is a decent weapon. Queen e7 is an interesting move to try to keep more chances. It does disrupt his development a little bit, but other than that, I think it's completely fine to play this move. So take, knight takes, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, rook e1, bishop d7, bishop f4. This all seemed pretty normal. I mentioned that they have trouble like developing their knight. It occurred to me to play knight d5 even in this position, but I wasn't sure about take, and then bishop e5. It wasn't clear to me how to assess that. Because if f4, they have
Check.
bishop takes d4, and this is trouble. Unless I can, for some reason, play like king h1 or something, but I mean, it doesn't look right. Maybe, though. Maybe like bishop e6 and I take here. Or can he just retreat his bishop and have a lot of pieces for the queen? Like if here, let's say, and
Check.
I take. He has, what, 2 minors and a rook for the queen? Okay, let me add the engine for a moment. So I played bishop f4. He castled. Knight back to b3. Queen e2. Rook a d1. I think these moves are all pretty standard. I mean, we're just both bringing our pieces to good squares. He completed his development. I played f3. Bishop here. Now I went for this idea. I mean, queen c4 itself seems like a decent move. Keeps his queen out of c5 or b4. And it sets up that bishop takes c7 or knight d5 idea. Okay, so I could have played knight d5 right now. I had the right idea, I just misexecuted it. Okay, and obviously he can't take with the pawn because I made him on
Checkmate.
c7, so that's no good. So knight takes and then pawn takes. And this is good for white. His queen has to move. If queen f6, I assume bishop e5 and then maybe take here next move. Or actually, his queen is like in trouble too. If here I take on c6. Okay, and this is good because let's say he takes with the bishop. I can do like, let's say bishop takes g7 or knight takes c6 first. And he's unable to take with his queen without losing a piece. And this just looks absolutely
Check.
terrible. Force mate, apparently.
Check.
Yeah, rook coming into e7.
Check.
Mate soon. So, okay, so bishop takes c7 was the wrong permutation of this tactical idea. And knight d5 first would have been strong. Wish I would have seen that. As played,
Check.
yeah, I just lost a piece and I didn't know it at the time. Yeah, so when you're diving into tactical complications and the position becomes unbalanced, it's very important to try to keep in your head what the material distribution is. Because you can see right there, that was a classic case where I just got ahead of myself and I sacked 2 pieces and I thought I was only sacking 1. So
Check.
yeah, if I had played knight pawn e5 and tried to threaten knight d5, save that for reserve, it's not so bad. Let's say bishop c8, take, I guess queen takes, and now the rook is covering d5, so there's no win immediately with that move. So I had a bailout attempt with e5 to try to get the piece back, but my mistake was already made with bishop takes c7.
Check.
But then somehow after this, even though I'm just down a piece, I was able to mount a comeback, mainly because he played that bishop move later. So rook e4, yeah, I don't have much. Push the pawn to d6. Yeah, and then this move was pretty bad. He just needed to keep that bishop glued to that square. I somehow like kind of felt that he might do it, but I mean, if he plays anything else, like I don't have any follow-up. Like a move like queen e5 should be good, right? Just threaten to trade queens, threaten my e-pawn. Queen b6, rook c8, just guarding the c6 point. Yeah, it's just a matter of time. So he plays bishop g4,
Check.
take,
Check.
check. Yeah, he can't go to c8. For some, I like hallucinated for a second that he could maybe escape out through this square, but clearly he can't do that.
Check.
Yeah, and here
Check.
I probably spent too long like looking for a win.
Check.
If I'm going to go for the win, I should
Check.
just go for it right away. I could pick up the c6
Check.
pawn. I mean, I was mildly afraid like he tried to skirt his king up the a file, but it appears to be winning even there. At some point, I'm going to need a rook lift in order to win. So I played rook d3. This looks winning. I thought he was going to go queen d4. I mean, I shouldn't do this with 13 seconds, but the game was so absurd, like I just couldn't help myself. I wasn't really thinking rationally at this point. So he takes,
Check.
I go check, and now I'm
Check.
like, oh, I'm mating, but nope, he plays queen b4. Missed that move,
Check.
even though it's like the only move to avoid getting mated next move. Yeah, because on anything else, king c8 or king c7, I have queen b7 mate. So he does this, and then I have 7 seconds to try to win the position. So I was not successful. Did I miss any faster
Check.
mate? I guess
Check.
this is just, obviously this is a win. I can't do it in like 5 seconds, whatever I had.
Check.
Yeah. All right, so I'll keep playing e4. I'm going to keep trying to challenge myself and play the king's pawn on move 1. Because I used to be an e4 player. I just have been playing a lot more of d4, knight f3, and c4 in the past several years, since I basically became a FMIM. And if you're looking for kind of a more positional weapon against the Ruy Lopez, this is a good opening. And final takeaway from this game, always try to keep the material balance in mind. And be aware that in positions that are becoming complicated or unbalanced, it's even more so important to double check your material balance calculations. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll be back tomorrow with another Blitz game. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.